All right, Blaine, thanks, man. Welcome back. So, we just finished a segment on mindset. And the reason, Blaine, that we did this segment on mindset is we were talking about a success formula.
Right.
The first step of that was having the right mindset. The second step to that formula was having the right skill set. And the third step to that formula was taking action. So we covered the mindset. There's a lot to say on mindset. It's probably the most critical piece. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about skill set next. And the skill set that we're going to get into is going to revolve around, let's say, sales or networking in that respect. Okay, because as you know, Blaine, if you're talking about, say, internet marketing, you might have a different skill set you're developing. You might talk about blogging and SEO and organic search related topics.
Yeah, exactly.
So for this call today, we're going to talk about skill set, and what I've found, Blaine, is that the skill set that one needs to be able to learn is a follow up process. Okay, and so first of all, let's back up. You really need to have leads.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, leads is critical. You can certainly go out and buy lists. You can certainly go out and buy leads. Okay, those are certainly not as high of a quality as generating your own leads,
Right.
getting people responding to your advertising. But in one fashion, form, or another, you got to have somebody to talk to. Okay, this could even include cold calling, which, quite frankly, is of interest to practically nobody. Okay, I do know some hardcore veterans that they will grab any list and they will dial all day long. And the fact of the matter is that, they're quite successful.
I know a couple of those guys too.
It's not an easy gig. In fact, most people really, quite frankly, give up pretty quickly. I started my career, my first networking gig back in 1996 was all developed through cold calling. I became a friend of the telephone because I really enjoyed the process of being able to pick up the phone and make contact. Bang, somebody was there to talk to.
Right.
And if you know how to open up a conversation, and that's part of the skill set, how do you open up a conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. If you, excuse me, if you have a really good system to lead people through, one of the best pieces as far as skill set is concerned is to let people drop their guard by letting them know, hey, look, this is not a sales call. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not here to sell you anything today, Blaine. Okay, I'm here to just simply have a conversation, find out if there's anything I can be of assistance of, and if there is, I'm going to guide you through a process that's going to allow you to make a good decision. Okay.
Right.
Is this for you? Is this not for you? Okay, so I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm here to find out where you're at, what you like. The three key pieces of the formula as far as skill set that I like to find out from somebody in a brief period of time is, why are we talking here today? Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is, what are your goals? Why did you respond to my ad? Why are you looking for a home-based business? Tell me, what are you really looking for? And the whole goal here is to get a person to open up enough,
right?
That they're willing to really share something, Blaine, that will open up a little bit more about who they are in terms of letting their guard down, like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. Any comment you'd like to make on that?
Yeah, I think that was good.
Yeah. So the key piece is to get them to open up. The second piece that I'd like to find out is, I'd like to find out, where are they at right now? Okay? Your goals for the future, you've just told me. You want to create a $15,000 a month business. Mm-hmm. Where are you at now? Okay, are you slaving away 9 to 5? Do you come home and you have little to no time to put into your business because you got 3 kids, a wife, and 100 tasks when you get home.
Yeah.
What is your current world right now?
Well, and that'll help you. You have where they want to be and where they are. You can figure out the how for them.
Yeah.
That's what you're helping them with.
And and the next piece to that, in terms of helping them with figuring out the how, I'd love to then ask the person, and this is really critical because I love to find out, what do they believe is standing in their way. That's my third critical piece. So they tell me their goal or goals. Hopefully we talk about this for an extended period of time. I want them to really get, in neuro-linguistic programming, they talk about really getting engaged in that future as if it's right now.
Yeah.
Okay? And if I can get them really engaged in that, then I'm going to get their emotions stirred up, and I'm going to get them into the process mentally, physically, emotionally. They're there. Then we talk about second, and notice the order. I'm not first talking about where they're at now, then where they want to go. I ask them where they want to go, then I ask them where they are now, and then the third piece is, tell me, what do you believe is preventing you from getting you to where you want to go?
Right.
Okay? Now, when they describe for me what they believe is standing in the way, the reality is that as a coach, I can either help them with that or I can't. My product or service can either help them with that or it can't.
Yeah.
If I can, then great. One of the things I'm going to do as we move through this process is I'm going to share with them how I believe I can be of assistance, or my system can be of assistance, or my marketing strategy can be of assistance, depending upon what it is.
Right.
So those are the three critical components, in my opinion, as far as skill set is concerned. Now, some other skill set pieces would be things like follow-up. Okay? I think, Blaine, one of the biggest problems in any kind of a home-based business is follow-up. Whether you're doing an email follow-up, a phone call follow-up, an email follow-up, and there's a specific sequence or a system if you're going to use an email follow-up, and part of that process is letting people to get to know who you are.
Yeah.
Letting people know that you're relatable.
Well, and a lot of these people, especially in the networking industry, you gotta talk to them a few times. It's really epically important to make sure you're touching base with them.
Yeah, big time important. Yeah, the process of somebody getting to know you, the marketing key or the marketing core or foundation right here is people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. Mm-hmm. And this process of getting to know you is step one, to know you. And then hopefully as they get to know you, hopefully they're going to like you. And if they don't, well, that's okay, because what you're doing through this filtering process is you're going to get rid of the people that, really you're not a fit to work with.
Yeah, which is awesome.
It really is. You're gonna attract and gravitate to you the people that are right to work with you.
Right.
So the people who get to know you, they decide if they like you or not, and if they do like you, generally then they're going to evolve to the point of trusting you, and that usually doesn't happen in one call, usually doesn't happen in one email. And so I generally really like for people to have an opportunity to get to know me or get to know you through a process of video, through a process of audio, through a process of blogging. For example, if you're showing up here and checking this out on YouTube for the very first time,
yeah,
you might click on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos to get to know who we are.
Right.
And then when you go to my website and you see that there's a phone number there and you can actually talk to me or somebody on my team live, now when we get on the phone, you've already had this process of getting to know me. You've already determined if you like me or not. And you've pretty well come to a point through multiple videos saying, wow, this guy knows what he's talking about. I can learn from him. And then there's this trust process that grows.
Yeah.
So the follow-up process is really key. And I think it's really important that people stretch themselves. We talked about this in the mindset portion. You don't have to do a video where you're showing your face like we are here today. You can do a screen capture video. You can do an audio. You can do blogs. There's multiple ways for people to get to know you. But I think people need to stretch themselves and be willing to lay themselves on the line to let people get to know who they are.
Yes, exactly.
So, I'm sure there's nuances to skill set that could be gone into, but I think for right now, I think we've covered really the basics of skill set. Anything you want to add on any other types of skills?
I think the only other thing I really have to point out is in reference to Mr. Henry Ford. There was a conversation he had back in the day where he was being grilled by all these people, and they said, you're not that smart. How come you built this big company? And I know I'm not quoting it verbatim, but he said, you're right, I'm probably one of the stupidest people who works at my company, but I have this board of buttons I can push and get an answer to any of your questions in here because I have people who work for me that are smart in their areas of expertise.
Yeah.
And there are skills that you won't have, and you shouldn't waste your time trying to figure them out. If you can get it done for a couple of bucks or partner with somebody who has that skill set, focus on what really works for you, and the communication, the touching points that you talked about, everybody needs that. Everybody needs to be able to communicate, because whether it's with a business partner or a new prospect or somebody, you need to have that one. But some of the other stuff, whether it be technical, whether it be whatever, partner with somebody. Hire somebody to do those little bits for you, so you're not wasting your time with it, in effect.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm not sure if I'm accurate on this, but I believe that scene from Henry Ford, I believe he might have even been in a court.
I think that might be accurate.
In a courtroom setting, and I believe he was being asked by somebody in a courtroom setting, what makes you qualified, and he brings up his board. I think he talked about not even graduating from high school, but just super brilliant. I mean, the guy, being able to put together the what do you call that? The manufacturing line. What do they call the line?
Yeah, the assembly line.
Assembly line. Thank you. Yeah, he's the innovator of the assembly line, and they figured out how to put together cars like that. So
really, yeah.
Just brilliant man. So, all right, Blaine. Hey, thanks for your expertise. Anybody has any questions? Go comment on this if you have any questions down below. We'll answer any comments. We'll put together an additional video if people have specific requests. And if you go to our newsletter at one of our sites down there below, what we're going to be doing is we have these general blog entries where we give a lot of great content, but we've got some stuff that we only release to people who are on our list. They're private blog entries. If you want to get access to those, put your name on our list. We'd be happy to share that information with you. And until next time, have a great day.
Thanks.
Okay, buddy.